Across the endless dark between the stars, the Coalition Armada moved like a storm of light. Thousands of ships, each larger than a city, stretched across the void in perfect formation. They had crushed dozens of civilizations and ruled the galaxy for centuries. Their empire had grown so vast that they believed no power could ever threaten them again. For generations, they called themselves the Eternals, for they thought nothing mortal could touch them. In the heart of the fleet was the flagship Eminence, a ship that could split moons with a single volley. Its commander, Lord Kale, stood on the bridge surrounded by the glow of tactical holograms. His tone was calm and confident as he spoke to his officers. "Another system secured," he said. "Soon this entire sector will kneel to the Eternal Banner." The officers nodded. No one questioned his words. The Eternals had won every battle they had ever fought. Their fleets outnumbered and outgunned every enemy. Their technology was ancient, refined, and flawless. Their ships ran on energy drawn directly from captured stars. Against such power, resistance was meaningless. But this day, a faint signal reached their command deck. A distress call from the frontier world of Vera. It was a small mining planet, of no strategic value, except that it was the newest addition to the Empire. Kale frowned as he read the transmission. The colony's defenses had gone silent. Long-range sensors detected strange radiation signatures near the planet. The pattern was unfamiliar. "Pirates?" one officer asked. Kale shook his head. "No pirate would dare enter eternal space. Send a recon squadron." Hours later, the squadron arrived at Vera. What they found shocked even the hardened fleet. The orbital stations were gone, melted into slag. The planetary shields were in ruins. And hovering above the world was a single ship, small compared to an eternal cruiser but unlike anything in their database. Its design was plain, its hull colorless, yet its energy readings were enormous. The recon leader sent a message. "Unidentified vessel, this is Commander Rel of the Eternal Armada. Identify yourself." For a moment, there was only static. Then a human voice replied, calm, cold. "This system is under human protection. Withdraw immediately." The Eternal pilots exchanged confused glances. "Human?" one muttered. That word was old, a name from forgotten history. The Eternals had once known of humanity, a minor species that had vanished centuries ago. No one had seen a human ship in ages, Commander Rel laughed. "Human protection? Impossible. You are a ghost from a dead race." The human voice replied again, "You shouldn't have come here." Before the Eternals could respond, the small ship moved. No warning, no visible weapons, just light. A single pulse cut through space and the entire recon squadron vanished. The command ship monitoring the feed saw only a flash of white and then nothing but empty space. When the report reached Kyle, silence filled the bridge. His officers waited for orders, unsure what to think. Kale's eyes were cold. "Send the Vanguard fleet. I want that ship destroyed." Within hours, hundreds of Eternal warships entered the system. Their arrival filled the sky above Vera with silver arcs of light. They surrounded the lone human vessel from every angle. Kale watched the live feed from the front lines. The enemy ship was small, barely a tenth the size of his light cruisers. Yet it sat there, motionless as if waiting. "Open a channel," Kale ordered. Again, the same human voice answered. "I warned you." Kale smiled faintly. "You dare threaten the Eternal Armada? You are alone. Surrender your ship and I might let you live." "No," came the answer. "But you can leave." Kyle raised his hand. "Fire." Hundreds of beams converged on the target. The void itself seemed to burn. Energy equal to a dying star struck the small ship. When the light faded, the human vessel was still there. Not a scratch. The Eternal bridge fell silent. Sensors scrambled, trying to understand what had happened. The readings made no sense. The ship's hull registered no shield, yet nothing could touch it. Then the human ship moved again. It didn't fire visible weapons this time. It just glowed. A wave rippled outward, silent and bright. Every Eternal ship it touched simply stopped working. Engines died. Weapons froze. The mighty fleet drifted helplessly, dead in space. And then, one by one, the Eternal vessels began to crumble. Metal turned to dust. Armor flaked away. In minutes, hundreds of ships disintegrated into nothingness. Kale watched in disbelief. What kind of weapon is that?" No one answered. Every system on the Eminence began to fail. Alarms blared. The stars flickered on the view screen. For the first time in his life, Lord Kale felt something he had never known. Fear. He shouted, "Retreat! All ships, retreat! But there was no escape. The human vessel appeared beside the flagship faster than thought. Its hull shimmered faintly, like light bending around glass. A communication signal opened again. The same voice spoke softly. "We told you not to come here." Kale's pride cracked. "What are you?" "We are what remains," the voice said. "And we remember." The next instant, the eminence vanished. Far away on the homeworld of the Eternals, chaos spread as the reports came in. An entire fleet destroyed by one unknown ship. No survivors. Every transmission ended in static. Panic spread through the high command. For the first time in 1,000 years, they faced an enemy they could not understand. The council summoned its scientists and strategists. They studied the recordings. They found strange quantum disturbances in the data, traces of technology beyond comprehension. Some whispered that the humans had not disappeared at all but had ascended, leaving the galaxy behind. Others said they had gone into hiding, watching from the dark, waiting for the moment to return. Meanwhile, across the stars, the human ship drifted silently. Its name was Resolve. Its captain, a man with silver hair and quiet eyes, watched the burning wreckage fade behind them. He didn't smile. He simply whispered, "They never learn." The Resolve was old, older than most civilizations still alive. It was built during the last war humanity had fought, a war so terrible that both sides had sworn never to repeat it. When humanity vanished from galactic maps, many thought they had destroyed themselves. The truth was different. Humanity had chosen to leave. They withdrew beyond the rim, into the cold void between galaxies. They had grown tired of endless wars and arrogance. They had built their own domain, hidden, peaceful, silent. But they never forgot. They watched the rise of new empires, the fall of old ones, and when the Eternals began conquering worlds, enslaving species and burning planets, humanity decided it was time to remind the galaxy of a simple truth, that peace should not be mistaken for weakness. The captain turned to his crew. "Any other Eternal fleets nearby?" A young officer checked the sensors. 2 more fleets converging. Over 500 ships. "Set course," the captain said. "Let's finish this." The Resolve vanished in a flash, reappearing in the center of the next fleet. The Eternals opened fire instantly, but again, nothing reached their target. The human ship unfolded space itself, bending the attacks away. Then it released a burst of light that rippled through the enemy formation. Ships stopped moving. Systems went dark. The wave passed through everything, leaving silence. The Eternals called it the Silent Fire. No one ever heard it. No one ever survived it. Within a single day, 3 Eternal fleets ceased to exist. The empire that had once ruled galaxies trembled. Every remaining fleet withdrew to the homeworld, preparing for what they believed would be the final battle. Billions of civilians prayed. Scientists worked endlessly to find a countermeasure, but no one could explain the human weapon. It was not energy. It was not matter. It was something else entirely, an understanding of the universe that no eternal mind could grasp. When the Resolve finally arrived above their capital world, the sky turned white. The entire planet watched as a single ship appeared among their defense grid of thousands. The Eternals launched everything they had. Missiles, beams, drones. The sky became a storm of fire, and still the human ship stood untouched. The captain's voice echoed across every Eternal frequency. "You ruled through fear. You destroyed lives to feed your pride. You believed yourselves eternal. You were wrong." Kale, who had survived by chance aboard a damaged escort vessel, heard the message, his heart filled with rage. "You think you can destroy us all? We will rebuild." "We always rebuild," the captain answered quietly. "Then rebuild better." The Resolve released its final weapon, not a bomb but a pulse of light that spread across the planet like dawn. No explosion followed, no destruction. Instead, every weapon, every warship, every machine built for killing simply stopped working. Power grids fell silent. Engines froze. But the people remained alive. The weapon had erased only the tools of war. The humans had not come to destroy. They had come to end domination. The Eternals' fleets were gone, their weapons useless. For the first time in their long history, they were powerless. As the Resolve prepared to leave, the captain looked at the planet one last time. "You are free," he said. "Don't waste it." Then the ship vanished into the dark. Centuries later, travelers spoke of the Day of Silence, when the Eternals lost their power overnight. Some called it divine punishment. Others said it was justice. But those who studied the ruins found fragments of human design, materials unknown to science, resistant to time and decay. They knew then that the stories were true. Humanity had returned, and they